I would like to introduce our next speaker. She is an accomplished author and currently working on her third book. And she's the founder and CEO of Diamond in the Rough Production and Lady Q Network. And most importantly, a proud mama. While her positive attitude and warm personality are the first things that you notice about her, it's hard to imagine that this woman grew up and survived a childhood many of us would not want to even imagine. However, she persevered thanks to some positive role models that crossed her path at a pivotal time in her life. And now she's paying it forward by sharing her experience and outlook on life with us. It's my pleasure to introduce and welcome Miss QianaBuckner.
According to statistics, people who are abused as children are more than likely to become either abused adults or abusers themselves as adults. Abuse can be psychological, physical, mental, or sexual. For example, a higher proportion of survivors of child abuse went on to experience domestic abuse when they became adults. According to statistics, more than 23,000 youth age out of the foster care system after the age of 18, and 20% of those young people will instantly become homeless. That is approximately 4,600 young adults every year just from the foster care system alone. Nevertheless, even when the statistics are tried, tested, and in most cases true, I am here to encourage you today that she, you, me, we still matter. I am a product of the foster care system. From the age of 6 all the way up until I aged out at the age of 18. After that, I was homeless, moving from place to place, broken, trying to find me and figure out my way through life. I ended up in foster care due to several years of severe physical abuse from my mother's lesbian lover. My 3 siblings and I were beaten daily, tied up to poles in the basement or stairs, hungry because we were fed the bare minimum, left feeling unwanted, and yet again, still broken. Because of the child abuse, my brother, who also suffered from sickle cell anemia, my best friend, passed away at the age of 10. And so began our journey of what I like to call life after death. We met with social workers, judges, counselors, and countless others who would try to help redeem us and make life as normal as possible, even though it had changed forever. We began the process of moving from family member to family member, group home to group home. I even had the privilege to stay at a single family foster unit where I was the only child. As you can imagine, growing up in the world as a young Black girl, preteen, and then teenager was very difficult emotionally, mentally, and physically. The challenges were that much greater. My mother was fighting to get us back into her custody, and at one point the courts did allow it. However, that did not last us very long. I was 15 by now, still broken and simply tired. I was a scared teenage girl, not knowing who to trust, let alone allow to love me. One day, I had an overwhelming feeling that I just did not want to hurt anymore. The result of that feeling led me to running away at the age of 15 from what I call the stress of it all. Of course, the police were called. I had not been to school in about 2 weeks. My younger brother was with me. I was his safety net. Our pictures were posted all over the news as missing persons. Everyone was looking for us. People would even see us on the street and ask us if we were the kids from the news. Then one day, I received a phone call from my friend who was a security guard from our high school. She was with them. They told me that they wanted to help and that there were many people looking for me. I agreed to speak with the police and go into headquarters. But little did I know, I was about to meet a woman who would change my life and sense of security within myself forever. When we got to headquarters, we were around nothing but male police officers who simply stated that their boss, Commander Elliott, wanted to speak with me. I assumed that the boss was a white male and wondered why he wanted me to personally come into his office. I was afraid because I was expecting cold and unconcerned, but I was met with warmth and love. I walked in and there was a woman with this round face, gray hair, and these big eyes with a look of deep compassion. Her first words to me were, "Good afternoon. I am Commander Gwendolyn Elliott, and I have been looking for you." She made our meeting very personal. She allowed my brother to go with the officers and wanted me to stay with her. I spent a few hours with Commander Gwendolyn Elliott that day. Within that time frame, she accepted me and never once allowed me to feel rejected, as others had been doing my whole life. She reassured me that she was on my side and that no matter what happened, everything was going to be okay. For the first time in my life, I felt safe and wanted. Somebody finally cared. She called my mom while I was there with her to let her know that she had found us, but also made it very clear that she was protecting my rights as a young girl to be safe and secure. In that moment of time, my life mattered to Commander Gwendolyn Elliott, and she gave me a sense of self-worth. And because of her, my life now mattered to me too. It was the most amazing few hours of my life that I had spent with one of my now guardian angels. And in that short period of time, she would go on to tell me about the passion and love that she had for young girls like myself and what she had been doing to help them become self-sufficient to live productive lives in society. She talked about how she wanted to offer programs that would help provide young girls the opportunity to be enhanced. Years later, I would watch on the news the life celebration of this brilliant woman whose life touched people all over. I heard them talk about the programs that she had started, her major impact in the community, and how GwensGirls, her vision, was birthed. It was then that I remembered my time spent with her years prior in her office. And from that moment on, I considered myself an honorary GwensGirl. I never officially was a part of that program, but she influenced my life the way that she has affectionately been doing for countless others down through the years. The moral to the story is simply this: whether you're a social worker, an advocate, a judge, a teacher, a mentor, or even a complete stranger, whenever you come in contact with a child, a teenager, or a young adult who's been broken, hurt, or in need of any type of support, it's very important to empathize and mentor from a place of compassion. You can be in a person's life for a matter of 2 minutes, 2 hours, 2 days, or even 2 decades. A person may often forget what you say to them, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Therefore, because our lives still matter, as leaders on the other side who are now advocates, we have the responsibility to make an empowering impact by enlightening our girls whenever they are in our presence. Whether it's a smile, a hug, a kind word, or showing interest in who they are or what they like to do, the important thing is to keep them encouraged by reassuring them that they do matter. Their stories and life situations do not define them, but their story is the stepping stone of their life to catapult them into a greater destiny to change the lives of others. According to statistics, I should not matter. You should not matter. We simply should not matter. However, I thank God for women like Commander Gwendolyn Elliott. She exuberated in her office that day what the Bible says about love in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Commander Elliott was patient, she was kind, and she was not rude, boastful, or prideful. She didn't rehearse the fact that I ran away from home. She focused on the reason why. She didn't know me, but her words and actions provided and proved that she cared about me. She didn't know me, but she covered me with a mother's love. She didn't know me, but that day I left her presence feeling safe and secure in who I was as a young teenage girl, knowing that at least one other person besides myself in this big old world that we live in, I mattered to them. I was a girl who was battered, who then became a young woman who was broken. Today, I stand before you, a woman empowered as an advocate for GwensGirls, for our girls, as an example of what it is to overcome, an example of transformation and an agent of change. Being broken gave me the feeling of inadequacy. Overcoming life's obstacles gave me the courage to conquer my dreams. I am now a two-time published author working on my third book. I am the proud founder and CEO of A Diamond in the Rough Productions, along with Lady Q Network. I offer programs such as Girl Power, a mentoring program for girls ages 12 to 17, a scholarship program, Gifts for Grads, for high school graduates going on to a 4-year college or university. And I also host countless conferences and other events to inspire women and young girls all over. Just as Commander Gwendolyn Elliott, Dr. Kathy Elliott, our social workers and leaders, I too now live my life as a champion for girls and women, young and old, all over the world, embracing my story and empowering others to embrace theirs. Our stories, our lives, yes, they always have and always will matter. Be inspired today. Be encouraged always. Thank you so much to the Black Equity Summit and GwensGirls for this amazing opportunity. God bless you.